Hello everybody, I am Techno Void, your host and the reason you are not allowed in the public library anymore, and with me is your favorite Pokemon analyst, Hamster Wings. How you doing, Hamster Wings?
Uh,
That's great,
really?
let's get straight into match one. So, Hamster Wings, tell me about match one, what's up?
Oh,
I'm
well,
sorry, that was very rude of me.
I was gonna say my life has really hit a downward spiral ever since I'm not allowed to go to the public library anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it really, like, what do you have to do to get banned from the public library, right? Like, they're open to all ages, they're open to all creeds, they're
Arson.
open to... What?
Arson.
That would do it. I'm not saying that's the reason you're banned and why I'm the reason you're... Look, all I'm saying is this is Burnt versus Whiskey, and I'm changing the subject. First thing I'm noticing here, no Shaman, when I feel like Shaman is a pretty good answer to Zamazenta. Talk to me about that and everything else happening in this thing here.
So, fun little factoid, actually. Shaman's slower than Zamazenta.
It's fucking insane. That is kind of crazy. What is it? It's like 127 versus 134?
Yeah, I think it's 138. Yeah.
Bro, this
You would actually need a Scarf Shaman.
this dog is speedy.
Which, for what it's worth, I don't think Scarf Shaman is that bad in this matchup. Gives you precedent over the Zama and the Dragapult. I think it would have been a nightmare to prep into Scarf Shaman, actually.
Really? Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the one potential issue here is Ice Shard coming off the Mamoswine is scary.
Ice
for
Shard
it, but I'm not
and
sure that's a one-shot even.
Ice Shard and, like, Rotom just kind of smokes it.
Sure, that makes sense. And Togekiss probably learns, like, Icy Wind or something. That's probably another thing that kind of, like, screws Shaman over. I actually don't know if it learns Icy Wind. I pulled that out of my ass.
Yeah, I have no idea,
Cool.
actually.
So other than that, other than the notable missing Shaman, what do you think?
I guess I'm... Okay, I don't know when it would come out, but I'm surprised to see Wordier here. Especially over Shaman.
Yeah, Wordier's a pick. It's certainly a Pokemon that exists in this format.
I don't really understand what it does, but...
it has screens, I guess.
I mean, it has good tools. It has screens, it has Intimidate. But, like, that's it. Honestly, I love to see Kaparaja.
It's a great mon.
It's good in this match, weirdly. It doesn't look very good in this match, but I think it is, because... I mean, Kaparaja is something I would expect to see with Shaman, because it kind of, like... It scares the Mamoswine off. Given it's not much of an answer to Rotom, but still.
Yeah, as for Rotomancers, I'm seeing a whole lot of Bupkiss here. How does Burnt deal with Rotom?
Yeah, Rotom is only going to be dealt with by, like, calling it on switch in, or, like, some crazy speed control shenanigans. Because Rotom is a serious problem for these 6.
What about Whiskey, other than the Rotom? So looking at Whiskey going into Burnt, what does he see as the major threats? Obviously the Shaman, which is probably most likely the reason for Mamo, as you mentioned the Rotom. But what else here? How do you feel about something like the Heracross or the Zeraora or the Iron Moth?
So, it's a fun little fact that I know from OU. Zeraora outspeeds Dragapult by 1.
Nice.
So, they're a contentious duo that have always appeared in OU together, well, when Zeraora was released. So, I guess Scarf Dragapult is actually on the table. I wouldn't say it's likely, but it's on the table.
Sure.
As for Heracross is just always scary. Like, it hits everything. It'll kill everything on the opposing team. Rock Blast for Togekiss, Close Combat for, like, literally everything else except Dragapult. The only things that don't really fear Heracross are Zama and Dragapult.
So going into this, who do you think has the upper hand, would you say?
I don't actually know who has the upper hand.
I don't even remember who won this match, so like I'm like looking at this
I do.
like, okay. Well, you just watched it. I haven't seen this in like 5 days, so
Yeah.
in my head I'm just like, I kinda, as you mentioned, I like the Rotom a lot here.
Yeah, Rotom's a great pick.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's get into it. Let's see what happens.
Alright, we got the Heracross Comfy lead. That's a hard lead to deal with. But it's good to see Rotom on the lead. Probably seeing that it just beats everything.
Uh-huh. Yeah, get a nice flinch on the Comfy here. Comfy going for Trick Room, which is why it's moving so late in the turn order. But getting flinched, so that is one less Trick Room. I'm guessing Burnt really wanted to get that up and just murder that Rotom like instantly. But I think Burnt has to go for the switch here.
Yeah, I don't like the double switch here on Whiskey's side.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, like, you can simply kill the Hera at that point, because you know the TR needs to take another turn to go up.
Yeah, if anything, I'm pretty sure Wordier was a sack.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, sack for the, that Intimidate proccing that competitive is kind of rough, though.
Yeah, and losing so much HP on Rotom and losing Rotom entirely is a really, really bad look here.
Rotom for Wordier, not a good trade on Whiskey's side. Like,
I also really didn't like bringing in Zama and switching it out without doing anything, because its ability is gone now.
Yeah.
And that lets it die to that.
Yeah, because that is a sheer force life orb boosted, what was that, Play Rough?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Play Rough does actually have a secondary effect, as many people don't know.
Yeah, I mean, really, really putting in some mad damage with this Kaparaja, which is honestly to be expected. Kaparaja rules.
Yeah, Kaparaja is like kind of a staple of doing incredibly well in TDD, but Heracross, no slouch either.
Does get flinched, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
But absolutely living that thanks to the light screen. So, you know, Wordier, I guess, put in some work, got that light screen up immediately.
Yeah, and now Comfey's gonna come in, which kind of like revitalizes Heracross entirely.
Yeah. Dragon Dart's smart targeting is rough.
Yeah, Comfey being in does allow Dragapult to safely double into Zera every single turn.
Yeah, and here's the Follow Me. This is a really... So this Follow Me doesn't do much. This next Zera Aura turn I actually think is very, very smart.
This Follow Me saved the Dragapult.
Yeah. Yeah, but this turn, so this is the Protect. Obviously, at this point, you have to expect the other Follow Me. So you go for Plasma Fist, you still go for the Dragapult slot, right?
Yeah.
I think that's very clever.
No, I love that.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, if it gets followed me, you're hopefully killing the Togekiss, but in case it does Protect, you are getting some damage off. And
this turn was kind of like genius by Burnt, sacking Zera Aura. Like, I'm gonna get the damage off with Zera Aura. It's gonna die, and I'm gonna bring in my Heracross on the Trick Room.
Yeah, with Comfy out already, so Comfy can support this thing.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, pretty massive.
Dragon Dart's still allowing to double into the Heracross slot, but Comfy's about to heal it.
Yeah, Comfy is not quite going even on the Dragon Darts. Actually, I think it's going better than even. It's just the last one was a crit, but now it is gone. Close combat's big. That's out. Now, at this point, it's a 1v3. Or no, it's a 1v2, right? Because of the close combat. But we do have TR up, which means that...
Kaparaja is going first.
Yeah. Very, very low health in Kaparaja. But even so, the Quark drive into speed here. It's rough.
I don't understand that. Dragapult gets Sucker Punch.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Sucker Punch would have... Yeah, that would have killed.
A Sucker Punch would have changed the game, because Dragapult resists Moth's double stab.
Double stab, yeah. Yeah, what was Moth running? We didn't see it. What move were you expecting to be used there?
I don't have the page up right now.
Uh-huh.
But like, there was not a lot that Moth could have done to Dragapult.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on whether Dragapult kills it in one turn.
I see.
But yeah, for the future, make sure you run Sucker Punch.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. I do. So I totally understand. Like, I know it looks very silly, from some perspectives to see this Quark Drive speed in a Trick Room team, but just for anybody who I think, isn't. Someone who uses trick, honestly, Kotar. I think for you, this is a potentially a big point. Having sort of, and he's been sort of good about this season, running both like in TR and out TR sets within the same team, because you're not always gonna be able to have it up, right? You get 4 turns out of this. You really want to make the most out of those 4 turns. If you lose your TR setter, or you know you're still trying to get it up or whatever, having something fast on the field offers really good pressure while you're trying to get that back up for another mon. I honestly see those speedy mons on Trick Room teams as just dangerous sacks, right? Because like if you don't target it, you're gonna get hit real bad, but if you do target it, you're basically allowing them to switch in something really slow on the first turn of a Trick Room.
Alright, so I'm looking here now. Moth does have Dazzling Gleam.
Okay, alright, that's pretty good.
And some defense EVs.
For sure. Okay, alright, so maybe that was not as close a call for burnt as it looked like, but definitely pretty huge there. Copper Rose are really putting in work that week. Any final notes on this matchup?
I think it's a really good example of Trick Room putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
And notably Trick Room being not utilized for the whole match, which is, I think, the way to run it.
Yeah, you it's really hard to build a fully Trick Room dependent comp. You really kind of got to go for that half and half a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I feel like the most successful TR teams are half and half.
Yeah, either that or like pure hyper offense.
Yeah, running sort of balance TR is rough because essentially you spend half your match trying to get Trick Room up, like at the beginning and then at the middle and then at the end. You spend half your match trying to get Trick Room up, and then you spend the turns where it is up like protecting and switching and using like base 60 power moves, and it's like no, sack. Get those things dead. If you're running into a full TR team, match should be over in 6 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like this is a 13 turn move, so I think we had 2 TRs in this in this match. So yeah, 2 TRs within 13 turns. So there was probably about 4 turns where there was no TR up total. Actually, because this one had 2 turns left, so I guess it would be like 5 or 6. But Burnt making really good use out of basically all of his speed control.
Yeah, because I mean, think about what Zera Aura did in this match and how nothing it would have done if Trick Room was up the whole time.
Yeah, okay, cool. So that was a great one. So that is unfortunately all we have for Quick Ball this week, because there are still matches that have been unplayed, unsurprisingly. We always come back to this eventually in TDD. Unfortunately, similar situation for Timer Ball. Again, I am here for the 3rd week in a row. It's not my fault, guys. I don't choose the matches. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, you can throw me under the bus and flame me. It's fine.
I'm not flaming you. It's not. If you were showing your own matches, we would flame you. But you're not. You're showing mine.
Well, they keep being close.
I guess, yeah, they do.
And they keep having good plays from both sides.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. Okay. I mean, so I guess I can talk about this a little bit. Looking at Diggory's team, maybe you disagree with this. I'm very surprised to not see Screamtail here. I see Screamtail as, I mean, I basically, yes, I have the Annihilate and the Bridge both do hit it pretty easily, but I just feel like it offers his team just a level of support that I guess the Bronzong is really trying to pull off here. I was really afraid of it. I was really surprised to not see it.
Screamtail for Diggory is almost like a Prankstermon.
It's definitely spooky. The Bronzong of these 6 Pokemon, I think the Bronzong I was expecting to see, but I was still the least prepared for it. I don't have that much on this team that can deal with Bronzong. I was kind of really focused on Gouging Fire and Walking Wake.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of expected the Shiftry to come into this match, obviously expecting the Torkoal. I saw Silvally on the team, and I sort of like didn't think about it too much, but then as soon as I saw the Silvally here, I'm like, ah, yes, ground memory. Because of course it is. Why would it be anything else? I have Archaludon.
Good old Silvally ground.
Good old
Nothing beats that.
Silvally ground. Speaking on Diggory's point of view, I know Diggory was really afraid of my beat up strats this week. So I believe Diggory's leading something that basically makes sure to stop beat up from happening on turn 1, because that's quite rough for him.
Yeah.
I think that about covers it. There's one more thing I want to say. There is one reason the Sableye is here. We will get to that when it happens. And I have some flaming to do, not at anyone in particular, just at Pokemon, I think. But we'll get to that. Otherwise, looking at the teams, I mean, Bronzong is, I look at this and I'm like, okay, Bronzong is threatening for me, because it's like, okay, I have Rage Fist and Body Press, I guess, and Hurricane, but like Weezing cannot hit Bronzong at all. It only has Fairy and Poison type damage.
I believe Salazzle also has no fire move.
Yeah, Salazzle does not have a fire move. Salazzle's only attacking move is Poison. Weezing only has Poison and Fairy, and Sableye literally does not have a damaging move other than Fake Out. So I'm looking at this, I'm seeing that Bronzong, I'm like, I expected this. I've made some mistakes potentially, but let's get into it.
Yeah. I'm saying you always want to foul play on your Dark Prankster guys.
Yeah, I thought about it. So here, I was originally planning on actually just straight up leading the Annihilate Salazzle originally, when I didn't see the Screamtail, because my Annihilate is actually scarfed, specifically so that on a gouging Scream lead, I can beat up, take damage from the Screamtail, doesn't KO, and then one-shot Screamtail before Gouging Fire has a chance to kill me. But alas, that doesn't happen, so instead I decide to lead Bridge. Still going for the same thing, did not run Covert Cloak, was a mistake on my part. I have Covert Cloak on a different Mon, so that doesn't get off, but I do step Stealth Rocks, which is nice because his team is significantly weak to it.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of rock weakness.
Yeah. So I bring in Mean Green Machine here. I'm kind of not too worried about it dying. It doesn't do much for me. Even at +0, and honestly, like, no defense. I think I have like 16 defense EVs on this Archaludon, because Diggory's team is so special focused. That I just don't bother running it, but it's still a 2-shot.
Yeah, good body press into the Shiftry. It's good to see that go down, although it is clear that the team is Trick Room and not Tailwind.
Nice Meteor Beam here.
Yeah, Bronzong fires off its Meteor Beam, a move that it certainly gets.
Getting very lucky on the Spadef drop here.
Yeah, big Spadef drop.
Yeah, that's huge, because that makes it a 2-hit.
Yeah.
Which is very important for me. Now, I have to switch here. We'll still get there. The Protect, I was sort of thinking that might happen, but I still figured my best option was still to attack into that slot, because I knew...
Yeah, especially with Trick Room ending.
Yeah, because I can just get Tailwind up immediately. Draco Meteor not killing here. We gaming, get that defense boost.
That is a fast Walking Wake, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, even with just the Photosynthesis speed, Tailwind is up.
At this point,
I know I had a similar situation where +1 Blaziken outsped your Archaludon and Tailwind, so it's not ridiculously fast. It's not like Scarf Proto or anything, but
yeah, I mean, Archaludon's what, base 85 speed or something like that?
Yeah, it's pretty slow.
Yeah, so it's like it's definitely outspeeding a lot of stuff in Trick Room, but it's not impossible to outspeed without a Scarf if you have a naturally high BST mon, especially with Photosynthesis up. So this is, I think, probably
actually it might be Scarf Proto.
I don't remember. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's Life Orb.
Was it Life Orb? I missed it.
Yeah, it lost some.
Yeah,
Integrity.
it's Life Orb. Life Orb. You're right.
I figured this is a good time to mention it. So this was a cook that you and I did last week. Was, hey, trick utility umbrella, right? You pass it on to a photosynthesis mon. It's hilarious. It gets rid of the photosynthesis. It stops.
It just doesn't even work.
Yeah. So I was like looking at this team. I'm like, okay, Walking Wake is kind of the primary goal of mine to get the utility umbrella on.
To be clear, I was mostly thinking of Walking Wake because its sun boosted water move is disgusting.
That's essentially what I was getting at, right? Because like I remember looking at utility umbrella and being like I want to double check, and I'm like, okay, the only thing it does is it prevents the effects of weather on the holder. So that means that if Walking Wake has it, A, it should drop its photosynthesis, and B, I think it should also drop Hydro Steam or whatever the fuck that move is called, right? That being said, it would not affect the damage of water moves on opposing Pokemon, because when opposing Pokemon take damage from water moves, they're not holding Utility Umbrella, so they would still take reduced damage. So, if my thinking is correct, that would be a good play. So at this point in the match, I'm just trying to find a good way to get Sableye in so I can do that, because it's funny to me. This is the only reason I brought Sableye. It doesn't even have fucking screens or anything. So Diggory taking it out with a Dragon Pulse here is very, very nice for me. I was expecting a switch from Walking Wake, honestly, at this point, because it was already at 0.5. So I was kind of expecting to like body press into Gouging Fire there or something, but doesn't. Trick Room is now up. I'm fine with that. I got the Prankster Boy. He's never moving last. Here comes the Torkoal as expected. Takes a lot of damage from the rocks.
Yep.
At this point,
good little fake out into Bronzong.
Yeah, I just don't want that Bronzong moving. I'm honestly pretty scared of it.
Do you have Draco?
I do not. It is only running Flash Cannon Body Presses. It's only attacking moves.
Oh, okay. What else does it have?
Protect and Stealth Rocks.
Right, Stealth Rock.
Yeah, so double targeting to that, allowing me to get Weezing in there. Could have switched Weezing into the other slot, but I did still want to keep Archaludon out. Archaludon finally leaving. Yeah.
I'm really surprised that you decided no Dragon move was the play.
Yeah, maybe not my smartest decision, but Life Orb does take that out. That Weezing was spec to just one-shot Strange Steam Walking Wake. But, you know, I'll take the Torkoal. Getting Torkoal out here is nice.
That's crazy. Alright, and now Sableye is in, Annihilape is in. I feel like... Did you trick here? No, you fake out. Okay.
Yeah, that's bad for me.
Gets a little DD. You're gonna Rage Fist the Walking Wake, take it out. But this Gouging Fire has, once again, unsurprisingly, become very scary.
Yeah. So this is where I get the trick off. I'm at this point, the Torkoal didn't reveal what its ability was, so I was thinking maybe Sun would be up for another 3 turns.
Yeah.
I was really surprised to see that kill, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
I mean, I didn't do the calc, but I'm thinking, like, okay, physical move, stab, in Sun, probably does about, like, you know, 65%, you know, to an Annihilape. Annihilape's pretty bulky. Bro kills him from, like, 85, and I'm like, fuck!
Yeah, also, that attack wasn't Sun boosted.
Oh, you're right.
He had the Umbrella.
Well, he had the Umbrella, but that doesn't affect the fire damage on Pokemon not holding the Umbrella.
I don't know how this stupid item works.
The point
and
of
as
this...
as of Season 8, it will be banned so that nobody else uses it.
God, yeah, so it doesn't actually affect photosynthesis, to get back to the initial point. And also, it's so confusing, and it never works. Please never run Utility Umbrella. Take it from a man that has used a Utility Umbrella twice. It's never fucking worth it. It's garbage. Never does what you think it's gonna do. And you run on Utility Umbrella too, and it didn't do what you thought it was gonna do either.
No, after reading the item about 7 times, it doesn't do what you think it does.
Indeed. But yeah, at this point, I'm like, shit, this is really bad for me because I have 3 Pokemon left. None of them can really hit Bronzong except for like Body Press at this point. Nice 10% miss. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Living that Heat Crash through a Protect. And we're going for the 2-turn Meteor Beam, which honestly makes sense.
Yeah, Bronzong doesn't have any other way to hit.
He's got
Sableye.
Yeah, it was
to hit Sableye.
Yeah. So I knew that wasn't going to do enough. I'm basically hoping for Parahex here. Heat Crash that thing is 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Getting another 90% miss. Really gets lucky on the para there.
Yeah, very lucky para.
And a crit. Big.
I'm not sure if the crit mattered. It might have. He looked very defense invested.
Mm-hmm. At this point, that is the match. Because as I said, yeah, Sableye's, yeah.
Sableye doesn't have foul play.
Yeah. Even if he did, I think he still loses, unless I get really lucky on paras.
Yeah, basically. Which, it's not super unlikely, because...
You have to use Meteor Beam, so if you get... Can you get parried on second turn with Meteor Beam?
You absolutely can.
Okay. So yeah, that's actually a really bad move to have while paralyzed, because it's like, your moves are twice as likely to get parried. So I guess that was possible. That being said, it didn't end up mattering, because he did get that one off.
Yeah.
I had Quash there. I thought Quash would be useful. Honestly, I think in another situation it possibly would have been. I don't regret that. But yeah.
No, I think Quash was a good play.
Yeah. I think, yeah, especially against, D-Dance, against Walking Wake that can proto speed. I was... Honestly, the Quash for a big part was against speed boosting Screamtail.
Screamtail? Yeah.
It's like, look, I know you think you're going first, but actually, no, stop. Go home.
But, like, honestly, Diggory's positioning throughout this game was so good.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think Diggory recognized pretty early on, it seemed, that how valuable Bronzong was this match. Despite the fact that I had several Pokemon that looked like they could kill it. But just, I think, really, really good positioning around that. Yeah. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Cool.
I do think Dragon Move would have been better than Body Press in this game, just for what it's worth.
Fair. I was expecting, because the thing is I had to beat up Salazzle, right? So I was expecting, it was like either Annihilate or Dragapult, not Dragapult, Archaludon is going to be at +6 for something, right?
Sure.
Like, I was either thinking 300 base power, that, because I didn't want to invest in special attack at all, because I really, into Diggory's team, I really needed special defense investment, like, up the fucking wazoo. This is basically, I think this is 240 HP, 252 special defense, and then, like, 16 defense. I really, really, really needed that special bulk on Archaludon, because I needed Stealth Rocks, I couldn't run Assault Vest.
Yeah.
So I really, really, really didn't have any points to put into special attack, which is why I felt that. I mean, I did calcs and I'm like, okay, Draco doesn't kill here, and if it doesn't kill, I'm losing any stamina buffs I have, which I was not a fan of, which is why main reason I didn't run Draco.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the match. That's all I got. That's all he's got. I think that's all we've got for the week. Unfortunately, only 2 matches this week, but c'est la vie. Play your games earlier, people. Any final notes on week 3?
I don't think so.
Cool.
This week did have a lot of stomp games. Which
past weeks have too.
Yeah, which made it kind of hard.
Let's not be kidding ourselves. There are stomp games every week.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's part of the game.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the time, even if 2 people, I think, have similar, I don't know, I don't feel like skill level is the right word here, but, like, even if they have, like, similar, like, matchup, ability, I feel like if you, everything comes down to prep, right? Like, if someone brings something, like, if I look at this team and I'm, like, putting so much prep into Screamtail, and then Screamtail doesn't show up, but Bronzong does. Like, a lot of my prep is just like, I need to rework this on the fly. And I feel like that just ends up being the case for a lot of people, where it's like, it's just not what you thought was going to happen, and people are not always the best about reevaluating mid-match what the win cons are.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think Diggory's very good about that. It's something I feel I've been pretty good at this season with the Annihilate last week and like the Archaludon this week. I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job of it, which is why I've only been losing by a few points. I think that's why my games are so close this season.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that I think everybody, myself included, and everybody else can always get better at. It's one of those skills that you're never done with, because every match is different. But that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I'm gonna kill you next week. So goodbye.
You can't say that on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say as a joke that I'm gonna kill you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We're not even monetized. Who gives a shit?